What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a little coding tutorial with Cursor. If you guys don't know anything about me, my name is Usama. I make a lot of money in the tech community through different ways. I build apps for people. I started my own app, consulting, and yeah, now I'm here on YouTube filming videos for you. So I thought I'd do some cool stuff. I've made a few videos on like the motivation, business stuff, but never really did a in-depth coding tutorial. So, and this is not a coding tutorial, by the way. If you guys are looking for that, you can go somewhere else. This is how to build apps with AI. So, if you want to learn how to build apps in the modern times, we use this app called Cursor. Now, if you don't have it already, go download it, install it on your computer so that you can start, working with me. Now, it's kind of hard for someone to do the exact same thing as me when, all we're going to be doing is prompting, but, we'll see how it goes. So what I did was I took hold on, this is a different chat. So I basically just asked chat, what's a good app to build? I had a long conversation with it. I wanted to, go through something cool, not just a basic SaaS CRM or something like that. So anyways, came up with the Second Brain app. So AI-powered life timeline that reminds everything that you've ever done. I honestly don't know if this exists or not, but I would probably use it. So anyways, this is a real life example of how I go about things. Now, if I'm building an app for someone, and by the way, if you guys want to learn how to actually make money, by building apps for people, I'm on a platform called Upwork. So if I go to Upwork, I'll show you my profile. I've done in my lifetime from being on Upwork, which is about almost 2 years right now, maybe like $500,000 just from this platform. And then I have my agency account. That one's also done over 200K. And people refer you and you get more people and it just compiles on top of each other. So if you want another video like that of me teaching you how to, get your platform set up on Upwork, just let me know. But anyways, so real life example of how this all works is I would get a scope of work from someone and I would take everything, literally everything without leaving anything missing, copy this whole thing, and then come back to Cursor, and I'm just going to open a new project. So you should go to your folder. I'm just going to call this Brain YouTube project. So I might split this up into multiple videos, just depending on how long this is going to take. So anyways, we have the Cursor tab opening right now, and that's basically just taking us to our project folder. If you guys don't already know what Cursor is, it's an IDE, just like Visual Studio Code. Hopefully you have some knowledge on tech before watching these videos, because a lot of these stuff I don't want to explain. I want to go into the details and the technical stuff so that I'm not attracting like the wrong audience, if you know what I'm saying. So hopefully if you're a software engineer, you've been coding apps for, the past 10 years, and then, AI hit, and now you're just introduced with a totally different way to work. Obviously this will help you because I'm in the same position. I've been freelancing, building apps for about 5 years now. I've been in tech my whole life. I built a website when I was like 6 years old. So yeah, if you want to learn building apps, making money, this is the right place to be. So anyways, I like to use Composer 2.5 because I pay $200 a month and I never run out of my limits. And Cursor 2.5 is, in my personal opinion, the best model. I think it's even better than Opus. Not from just like my idea. I've tested it out. on different things. I've tested all the models that I have over here. I think 2.5 is like the cheapest and the best. You know, like they already got the pricing model right, but it just performs. So I'm just gonna paste this right here. Boom, and it's done. Well, it's not done, but you know, the first step is done. So this is gonna build us all the dependencies. It's gonna build us the whole folder. It's gonna build us everything that we need to have as far as a, you know, like wireframe goes. This didn't build anything, but it did give me an architecture plan, which we can check out. It's super cool. And guys, this is like a really simple React Native Expo type of architecture. The ingestion layer, you have APIs, normalizer, a context enricher. We don't know what these are just yet, but this is just going over how this architecture is going to work. So this is the front end. There you go. So on device embeddings, location, SQLite, vector index, and a sync queue. So I'm trying to scroll to the side. There we go. Anyways, so you have the back end and your AI layer, which powers this hybrid search. Now, AI just came up with this, but does it really matter? This is the true question. Does the architecture really matter if I'm starting it from scratch? And I gave this prompt to Cursor and it came up with this. Now, I could sit there and say, no, I want the architecture to be like this, like that, but I have no personal judgment on how the architecture should be. Just because I asked ChatGPT, gave me this idea, and Cursor came up with the architecture. Is the architecture wrong? No. And that's the thing, we don't even know yet, right? We might come up with some challenges later and decide something needs to change, but as of right now, we are good. So YouTube series structure, we built an AI. So it actually gave me like what to say on YouTube. So I'm not going to follow AI with that. But AI power, what did I even prompt? Okay, I'm just going to go to plan mode and I'm going to say build me this app. So plan mode is pretty cool because you get to see exactly like what you're going to build, and it starts asking you these questions before actually doing anything. So mobile first, what should V1 actually do? Let's go ahead and say polish demo and come up with the plan. So this plan will actually be shown to you. It's going to write everything down in an MD file. If you don't know what that is, Markdown. It's just like a Word document. It's going to write everything for us, and we're going to approve it, and then we're going to click go, and it's going to do everything. Now, is it really going to do everything? No. All right. The process of building an app with AI is not just prompting it once and you're done. It's actually just making sure that everything works afterwards. So here we have this whole plan, you know. Now you can sit there and read it, but I promise you, if you're gonna not trust the AI and you're gonna sit there and analyze everything that it says and everything that it does, and you have like no trust in the AI, you're probably better off just doing everything from scratch, like yourself, with no AI. The power of AI is going fast, and it's a different type of engineering because instead of sitting there and planning everything out, you just have AI do it for you, QA test it. Now, enterprise level companies are different. I'm speaking just for, you know, the average app. So it's better to have AI do everything and then go back, see what's wrong, see the back end, see how the network is coming out, see if like what type of networking is going on, what's being encrypted, whatever you want to check out. Every single app is different, and no, like there's not one universal Q&A testing of what's going to go on. So the main thing is for you guys, what you got to notice is this thing is developing everything for me. Now this right hand side, you might have it over here on the left. This is your best friend. So you need to ask this, you need to go on ask mode, ask it a bunch of things, plan. I've actually never used the debug mode ever. But anyways, everything that you want your app to do has to be set over here. And that's super important because right now, all of our packages are being built. It's basically just trying to build the whole app in one shot. But obviously, that's just not how it's going to go down. There's going to be some flaws in there, which we'll have to catch. And maybe sometime in the future, I'll make another video about building agents. If you can see, Cursor has this thing called Cursor 3, which is like the agent window. Just wait for it to load. But you see all your projects in one view. You can build automations, just like right over here. You can add MCPs in the customize apps, and you can automate agents to run on these environments. Now, these environments are cloud environments. Not all of them, but like you can see this one in the cloud. Most of these are local, but you can move them onto the cloud and start running it from your phone now. Actually, they just released the iOS app. So maybe I'll make another video about using the iOS app because I don't see any videos out there right now. I think that would be super helpful for people. And if they're using Cursor, yeah, like using a mobile app to me has changed the game because I do a lot of different projects. I used to run Cursor agents through a Telegram channel called Tech Money, and anytime someone asked me for something, I would just put it into that Telegram channel, and I have my agents just working on that. So now the iOS app came out, and it's actually pretty cool. You can take screenshots, or the app can actually take screenshots of your local host, that local environment, to tell you like what's going on, and you can start building that way. So I'll give you context, guys. I run about 15 different projects at the same time. And when I was doing everything manually, I basically could only handle like 3 or 4. But now I'm like scaling. I have like 15 projects running at the same time. Obviously, I work all day for 15 projects, even though it's AI. But, you know, I'm scaling it up. You guys can watch along for the journey. I'll make a lot of videos on, you know, like how I do that. But yeah, I'm just trying to automate everything and have Cursor agents working for me 24/7. That way I can get to around, you know, like 30 different apps at the same time. Main thing is syncing up with, you know, like your clients and making sure everything is good with them, because obviously if they have a open communication, then realistically whatever they're asking for, you can basically finish it in a few days and deliver it. But there's always some details that they want to change, little fixes here and there. Oh, can you tweak this? Can you tweak that? So, yeah, that could be automated. It will be automated, hopefully in the near future. Anyway, so this looks like it's done. So it's giving me what's included, timeline tab, pinch to zoom, all of this shit. So demo queries. So we can try it, right? So let's see. This is a React Native Expo. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this into my terminal and click enter. Now, look, it gave us a nice QR code for React Native that we can, you know, try it out. So if I click on this, this will take me here and open up this localhost. React Native has so this QR code that it gives us, you can basically go into React Native and check it out. So like, look, there's like this error. We can go to React Native. And they have like a preview. How do I get there? Yeah, you have to download Expo Go. Anyways, I'm not going to do that. Looks like there's a problem anyway, so it's not resolving SQLite, so I don't think the SQL servers are on, so that's basically what I would have to do. You can click open. It should just take you back here, but I can literally just copy and paste this and say when I open the screen, I get this error. Now, is the SQL server on? Is it off? Like, I don't, it, to me, bro, like, I'm not really even thinking about that. I'm just thinking, let me just prompt until this works. Because that's the fastest way to do it. You can go on for a long time trying to figure out one thing. You just need to trust the AI knows what it's doing and just tell it what to do. Like, fix this, fix it, no mistakes, keep doing it, do this. Now, when it comes to actual engineering, then you need to know what you're doing. But even then, the rule still applies. You just tell AI to do everything. Like, I'll give you an example. I have a client, this lady, she has an app that builds outfits from a closet item. So if you take a picture of a shirt, it will scrape the internet and find something that's, on the market right now and build an outfit for you. So you can just go click, go to the link, and then purchase that item and so on. So basically, my task was to build the AI pipeline, and when I built it off of like the infrastructure they gave me, and everything was so linear. So you'd click the button, it'll run the AI prompt, it'll actually do a search, which is a search engine results page search. So it'll search the internet, it'll start finding these and validating them if the URL is live or not. Then it has to check if this is like a pattern shirt or if there's a solid color shirt, if it's a green, red, whatever. So that whole pipeline would take 5 minutes to execute, and to give a full, outfit. 5 minutes is a long time when it comes to apps. Like, that's basically, it's not going to happen. No one's going to wait 5 minutes on a screen that's loading. The first 10, 20 seconds, they're going to think it's like, it's bugging out or it's lagging or something like that. So anyways, so what I did was engineer a harvester. So it's like a 24/7 bot that harvests the internet for these items. So you give it a description, you give it the stores that you want it to look for, H&M, Zara, all that stuff. And 24/7 it's harvesting these closet items, and it's running that evaluation pipeline in the background before anything happens, and it caches all of those items with their metadata, like the parameters, color, pattern, solid color, whatever. And so whenever someone just clicks create app, it uses one prompt with the cache data and it gives it to you. So I got it down from like 5-6 minutes to 20 seconds in that way. And then through also like engineering the front end, we can get it down to under a second, because if you're delaying the amount of time from when that pipeline starts from when the user clicks go or make outfit, you can essentially, because everything's cached, you can create that outfit first. So like, for example, if I submitted a picture of the shirt, it already starts and it keeps going. So you delay that time from when someone submits the item till when they click generate outfit. You know what I mean? You can basically get it in under a second. So that's what we did. And now it's super fast. Now that's like some engineering work that requires actual knowledge. Like, the AI would never think to do that. It's basically something that you have to come up with. The AI will only, like, you just keep telling AI to fix. It's just going to keep trying to reiterate on the same pipeline. It's not going to think outside the box. Anyway, so this looks like it's done. We can just refresh. Building your timeline. This is what it's came out to. So, all right, cool. Look what we have here. So I'm just going to do this. to view it in like mobile mode. Okay, so we have, looks like to be a calendar event, events in the calendar. Some AI bot, right? What restaurant did I take Sarah to? You took Sarah to Nobu, San Francisco. Oh, Sarah. You're a special one, aren't you? Anniversary dinner at Nobu. Sources, photos taken, Uber ride. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. So, photo taken. Okay, so I get the app now. I didn't really get it, but now I get it. Anyways, so it builds the storyline. Arrived at Nobu, GPS, Uber, ride to Nobu, photos taken. So all of these sources on your app, it's building this whole storyline for you. So your timeline, so your entire life timeline. This is kind of creepy, but I would use it for sure because, I mean, just running my business, this would help out because I have people messaging me from Outlook. I have people messaging me from Gmail. I have like 3 Gmails. I have Slack. I have WhatsApp. I have my messages. I spend a lot of time trying to figure out like where that message came from. And then you have like the email reply threads that go 30 emails long. You're trying to find where that attachment was. So this would actually be something that I would use, and this would help me a lot. Lunch with Alex, yeah. All right, so what would be the next step, right? Is the app finished? Absolutely not. Really, the main thing is to download this and test it on Expo Go because this would have to have access to all of this stuff, which on my computer, I don't think that would work. So that's something we can ask Cursor. How would I test functionality this on my computer? Okay, so there it goes. I'm gonna pause this, and once it's done, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm outside now. So, anyways, let's see what the AI said when I asked how would I test the functionality of this on my computer. So it's just telling me to uninstall from the project folder, then press W. Okay, iOS simulator. Maybe we can try it on the iOS simulator. But what I really want to do is try out how it works with photos and everything else on the device. So got my smoke, got my coffee. Let's get to it. Let's see. I need to ask it. I want to do it on the web so I can show you guys how it will work with the photos. I'm gonna just talk to it because usually how I do it. I want to test this out for my laptop experience. I want to know how it's gonna actually work with my photos without having to download the app or use my phone. I want to know how it's gonna use my email app, my calendar app, and so on and so forth. So tell me how I could effectively test using my browser on my laptop. All right. Let's ask it. See, this loads fake data, stores it in in-memory database. You're testing a search plus linking. Okay. How it would actually work. So basically, you have to OAuth into all of these. And Apple Calendar, mostly Apple only APIs. Pour on web needs Mac iOS app. See, this is exactly what I wanted. I don't like I don't want to connect all of these right now. What you can effectively test is the meetings, timeline tab, Jake's story, calendar, GPS, photos, text messages. So in theory, yeah, this would work. I really like how it is. I don't think we'll be able to test like from messages. I think for the video's sake, I might actually build this app, but for video's sake, what I'm gonna ask it to do, can you change the photo library to start working on my Mac? And then what else was it? The photo library and GPS. So I just want to take some photos, or maybe use the photos I already have. My GPS location. I'm in California right now. So let's see. Honest constraints or mock data. Yeah, so it didn't even build anything. So what we can do is start to run the data from my Mac OS. So I switched it to agent mode, and now I'm telling it what to do. So a lot of these apps, you'd be hovering from agent to ask to plan. I don't really use multitask or debug. Multitask, I feel like it doesn't work as good. I think it's better when you just queue different prompts, because sometimes I'll have like a bunch of prompts written, and I'll just add them one by one and just let it go one after the other. I think that works way better. And I think I'll make another video showing you guys another internal app that I've built. It's not a mobile app, but it helps me with my projects. And basically it is a Loom video prompt builder. So if you have a Loom video that you took of the app that you want to fix, or maybe your client sends you a Loom video of what, you know, his feedback on the app is. There's one way you can do it, which is take this transcript and throw it into ChatGPT and say build some prompts, or you can just throw the transcript into Cursor. But sometimes there's context from the screen that the prompts actually need. So if you know, you film a video or your client films a video that says, oh, I want this to be gray, or I want this page, or whatever, you know, anything that needs context from the screen, it'll be hard for the transcript to pick that up effectively. And so the app that I built is you put a video inside of it, you upload a video, and it extracts all the context that it needs and adds it to the prompt. So if someone's saying, oh yeah, this drop down, that will actually say, all right, the drop down on the settings page for the customers, right, to show the customers, whatever. It gives context so that, you know, the prompts are much more accurate. Okay, so this finished. Let's see, import the mag data at the top of the timeline. So like, let's check it out. Okay. So it's saying capture current GPS. Import photos folder. Let's see if it actually works. Okay. Pick photos. Okay, so saying that there's an error that I need to install or run some servers. But I think this is enough for this video. Maybe we can pick this one back up. Obviously, with building apps with AI, you can't just do it in 5 minutes. It does take a lot of work, making sure that everything functions, making sure that you're fixing all the errors, all the bugs are taken care of. You need to make sure that the app actually works in a way that it's user friendly, it flows really good, the buttons are in the right places. So you have to have a human in the loop actually like doing that. And if you're technical enough and you've studied engineering before AI, pre-AI days, then I think there's a huge opportunity for you as a like vibe coder. I call myself a vibe coder. Fuck it, you know, like why not? I don't really see any offense to it because at the end of the day, I'll give you guys a story. I used to run a huge agency. We would have, 20, 30 developers offshore and project managers. And to run that, you also need assistants. To manage all of the offshore developers, you need HR, you know? You need to hire and fire, burn and turn. So that was like a huge headache. And after Cursor and Claude Code came out, basically we've shrunk that down basically to only me. And just the other day I fired my last developer. And the reason why is because the scalability of that model is not good. You have to have a lot of things in place. HR team, because hiring offshore developers is not a walk in the park. These guys suck. They don't understand English. They don't understand what you want. You cannot let them talk to your clients. That's the biggest mistake that you can make. Every time I've had a developer talk to my clients, the project went bad. And it's not because they don't know what they're doing, but they don't understand the business, right? End to end. They don't understand shit. And so, to give you a story on that, I had a client. He had this AI. Basically, it's an app that roasts you for your dating profile. So you submit your Tinder profile, and then the AI roasts you and, tries to get you a better profile and says, "Oh yeah, well, why do you have this picture? You look like a penguin here, man. Change this picture." So stuff like that. Anyways, so the client asked me and said, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 more if you can fix the prompt and make it funnier," right? And that's easy, right? You just add text to a prompt, right? It's super simple. Anyways, I gave it to my developer and I told him what I had to tell him. I said, "Hey, listen, man, just play around with this prompt, make it more funnier, and, show it to the client, blah, 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 blah." Anyways, my mistake was I actually let the client talk to the developer. And what happened was the developer was too much of an engineer. He's like, "Oh, this wouldn't work. No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, it has to be prompt engineered, blah, blah, blah." He started explaining all this shit, and he wasn't giving hope to the client. So I get a message from the client, and I don't know this is happening. I just put them together. I was like, "Yeah, just make it work." I get a message from the client, and he's saying, "Hey, man, we don't have to worry about that extra 1,000 since it's not going to work." I was like, "What do you mean since it's not going to work? What the fuck happened?" So I messaged my developer. I was like, "Bro, like what did you tell him?" He's like, "Yeah, he's asking for things that aren't possible." And I was just like looking at him like, what do you mean? Like, it's just a prompt. What are you talking about? Anyway, so I tried to save it. I was like, no, I'll do it myself. I went in there. I made it a little bit better, but because the developer gave the client this uncertainty and doubt in his heart, he was like, "Nah, it's not good enough." He kept saying it's not good enough. "Nah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Nah, it could be better. Nah, just forget about it." And that cost me $1,000. So there's a lot of stories I have like that, of clients talking to developers telling them some bullshit and messing it all up, And that's the thing with talking to clients. You have to talk to them in a certain way where you're giving them hope. You're not telling them that this can't be done and stuff like that, because that's just not good business. But anyways, what I was saying was, if you want to have like a decent running business right now in the tech industry, like, you need to be using AI. And being a developer, a legacy developer, trying to analyze code and not working with the AI, not trusting the AI, letting the AI do its thing, and then trying to micromanage it, seeing all the code and what it did. Bro, I fired people for that, because it's just slow. It's not scalable. It's much easier to run AI agents and actually have the AI doing like something in a short amount of time, showing the client, presenting it to them in a professional way. And even if there's bugs, you can let them know, like, "Hey, yeah, like, this is what I came up in the past 3 hours. What do you think? Like, this is not a finished product. We can add more to it, you know? And then they will start telling you what they want. Now, when they start telling you what you want or what they want, then you go to the AI and you tell it to do that. But if you're gonna start engineering everything and start building everything from scratch, starting with the wireframe. Okay, now the wireframe is done. Now we have to go and plug all of this in. Okay, this architecture doesn't work. Now we have to switch with this. This pipeline is slow. How do we optimize for this? That takes such a long time. In the client's mind, you know, there's a very, very delicate energy with time, you know. If you can get like a first prototype in the first day of closing them, or the first day them asking for something, it's way better if that happens and it's all buggy and it doesn't work and there's some errors. It's better for that than them waiting like 2 weeks for something and then them like, oh, actually I want this, I want that, I want this is what I want this page to look like this, you know. So if you know how to engineer an app, I think, you know, you have a huge opportunity using Claude Code and Cursor and trying to make money online. So if you guys like talking about cool projects, making money, maybe you're like a software engineer, just give me a follow or subscribe and I'll be making more videos. But that's it for this one. I might make a part 2 on this app. I really like the idea that the AI gave me. I might just use it for myself, or I might release it. If you guys want it, just let me know. Other than that, peace. See you on the next one, guys.